Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome to the fourth episode of the Experience series, and it's been a wonderful time having the first three episodes where people were sharing their experiences with us. And in the Experience series, all we do is to bring people who have gone through the study abroad journey successfully and are living in their dreams one way or the other in either America or in Canada to come and then share their experiences with us, their entire journey, so that we can avoid some mistakes that they did. And then some of the things that they did right, we can also capitalize on that to be able to give a strong application and see our dreams come through. So that is why we do the Experience series, where every Saturday I bring people, most of my friends, to come and share their experiences with you. Last week, we weren't able to make it because of some few difficulties somewhere and some few things we needed to attend to. That is why we couldn't come your way, and we are sorry about that. But as time goes on, if there is anything that makes us not to be able to come live, we'll prompt you ahead of time. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. If you have not shared the link with someone, do your possible best and share the link with someone who also have the same intention of pursuing his or her undergraduate, master's, or doctorate degree in the United States of America. Now, I want you to comment in the comment section wherever you are watching me from. I want to know the kind of people I'm having a conversation with. I want to know the kind of people who have subscribed and who are following me on all my social media handles, so that it will also prompt me on some of the information that I need to be able to channel to them. Before we move on to bring my colleague who is come to share his experience with that, this very gentleman is a very good friend. We all did the same when UCC together, and I mean, we're taking some courses together, and it was amazing when we met in communication skills class, and that was where friendship journey started, and it has been an amazing time. Now, before I bring him on board, I want you to know that the American government has released the official or the application for the official DV 2026 lottery. So if you have not put in your application yet, do your possible best and then put in your application. And I wish you all the good luck. I know people who have been able to go through this very process successfully, and now they are living in their dreams. So why not give it a try? Yeah, and this time around, they are not even requesting for your passport or anything. So if you don't have a passport, you can still go ahead and apply for it. All you need is your details and then a passport size picture. And it has to be in the dimensions of the USA. Yeah, so make sure you put in the application. I think the deadline should be around November. So we still have time, but do your possible best. Take a quality picture and then put in the application. Who knows? It might be your time to win the 2026 DV lottery, and you see yourself in America with your green card and working to live in your dreams. Thank you very much. It has been your friend, Aaron Inspires, and today we are here to inspire you yet another day for you to be able to see yourself through your journey. My friend is having a little challenge. I think it's going to come live very soon at the background, and immediately I see his video pop up, I'm going to bring him on board. Yeah, so right now let's just have some conversation. Yeah, if just type something in the comment section. I want to have how's your week been so far? Like, I know it's been like 2 weeks I've not seen you, but like, how has it been? Share something with me. Is your applications going well? Have you started the applications or yet to do it? I think let me take some few comments. So you can see, I said, Tony said, watching from Nigeria. Tony, shout out to all Nigerians. Thank you very much for watching, Tony. And we have Eugene. Eugene said, fellow UCC alumni here, same year as you. Oh, really, Eugene? My name is Eugene Brunei, watching from Brazil. Oh, Eugene, that's great. That's great. Is it the Eugene we did the same national service at Code? If it is you, let me know. But Eugene, we thank God you are in Brazil. I know Brazil is treating you. I have a good friend in Brazil as well. We also completed the same. I think it's called Mega. Yeah, he was a great dancer when we were UCC campus. Like, this guy can dance. Even with worship, he's dancing. he's talented. Yeah, so let me take another one. It said, Kenneth Edu say, Bonsu from Ahafo, Kenya, say within Ahafo region, Ghana. Oh, that's fantastic. Please, if you have not shared the link yet with people, try and share with your on your status, share it with other friends, let them also join. I know sometimes some people want to do this behind the scenes and they don't want people to know that, oh, I'm doing a study project. Guy, it's fine. It's fine. I understand. But there is nothing wrong with that. If you share it with other people, it doesn't mean that yes, you are also doing. Maybe you know that, oh, it's going to help them. It's an information, so share it with other people. Okay, let's not be selfish. Let's share it with other people. Let them also come on board to come and learn. For all you might know, that person you are sharing with is the one that is going to pave the way for you. I had some friends who came here, like Wilfred, like Edem Fiachono, like most of my friends that took the lead ahead of me, and they were also an inspiration for me. A good friend of mine who also create content like Kingsford Onina, the Freddy Fed. All these people are people who inspired us. So if we were in our one corner, we wouldn't have been able to handle some of the opportunities or some of the things that they were sharing with us. Yeah. So just make sure that. Oh, Eugene said, I know Mega. Mega was my mate, and we are colleagues here too. Oh, Charlie, my regards to Mega. My regards to Mega. Thank you for watching me all the way from Brazil. Let's take another. Said Junior. Let me see. He said Jesus Project. Wow, Jesus's project. We are grateful that you have a Jesus's project ahead. Yeah, let's try and then help in that regard. Junior said, I am watching from Canada. Junior, thank you very much for watching from Canada. Do your possible best and share it with other people. Yeah, so if you have not started your application yet, please do your possible best. So our good friend is at the backstage, and I'm going to bring him on board. He's live now. I'm going to bring him on board. But like I said, if you have not shared the link with other people, please do your possible best and share it with them. And then also, if you've not started your application yet, if you have not started your application yet, I don't know what you are waiting for. But today we are here. Maybe, for instance, there is something that you needed us to address. We are here for you. Make sure that you come on board. At the latter part of the conversation, I am going to send a link across where you are going to be able to log in and then come on the backstage and come and ask your question. Or if you don't want to come live, you can also type in the comment section and I'll read your question. So all I'm trying to do is to help you to be able to put in your application. Don't waste time. Even if you don't have money, now you have been posting a lot of schools that are waiving application fees. So please do your possible best and put in an application. Who knows? That is going to be your lucky chance. All right. So let's go to the backstage and bring our friend on board. All right. Welcome, my good friend.
Thank you.
Hear me?
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Okay. So guys, like I said, I mean, some of you have already seen the flyers around, so you know his name already, but then he's going to introduce himself to us, specifically what, like, everything about him, basically, like maybe his high school, his undergraduate school, and then where he did his national service, and then like some few things about himself. Then we will dive deep into how his whole journey of studying abroad started. All right, so over to you, my good friend.
All right. Good day, everyone. It's indeed a good day to have a good day. And thanks, Aaron and the team, for inviting me today to share my beautiful story. That's how I captured it. I captioned it. Yeah, so my name is Emmanuel Nafe Akli, but close friends know me as Certainty. Yeah. Then when you call me Certainty, I respond Orikodo. I got that name from UCC, back in UCC. The only fancy I can understand or speak well is Orikodo. Yeah, so I'm from Ghana originally, and I had my basic and secondary school level from Ghana. I'm kind of traveling. I've moved into regions. I did from, let's say, crèche to junior high in the Greater Accra region, and I went to the Eastern region for my high school. I went to Cape Coast for my undergrad. And in Cape Coast, that's where most of my story or my journey originally begins. So I did, I'm a social science student. So if you're a social science student, or maybe, and you feel like, things are not read, or you also have the plans to move to US or Canada or this thing, this is the right guy to listen to share, his story. So yeah, so fast forward, I started my bachelor's in UCC from 2014 to 2018. Yes, Aaron's my mate, and a couple of friends that you have maybe probably on their YouTube channels and things. Yeah, they were my colleagues, and I did social science and I majored in economics and geography. Yes, and I did my national service at Lands Commission. Yes, and I was there for three and a half.
You have a lot of land in Ghana, oh, Charlie. Last commission, wow.
No, we only manage, the land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, on the side too, if you maybe have some lands and you need some registration or you have an advice on something like that too, you can, contact me through Aaron and I'll connect you to some few people. Yeah, I have some good experience with surveying a little bit and valuation and some other things. So yeah, so I was there 3.5 years with the valuation division. Then COVID hit and things were changing a little bit, and I decided there was a project with I think Ghana Water Company, and they need like some GIS people to come on board to, kind of do certain things. So I volunteered to go there and, and they were using a skill set that, really pushed me to do something. The dream was to be an economist. But after working with Lands Commission and I've seen the softwares and things they were using, I decided to toe a particular line. So I realized Lands Commission wasn't giving me that platform to do that. So I moved to Ghana Water Company as a volunteer on the project they were doing, and we're using the ArcGIS software. And that is one of the field that motivated me to, pursue this field. Yes, and on the side, whilst I was in Lands Commission, I've seen a skill that could help me make money. Yeah, somebody will be like, it's all about money. Yeah, so I was doing a program at UMAT, geomatic engineering, so that I could get, some surveying skills and some other skills that will also help me.
Was it like a master's or it was just a certification?
It was a master's program. My certificate is still there. I have to go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that is your
journey
journey so far back in Ghana.
All right. So thank you very much. So this person, like he said, we were on UCC campus together. And then I think we met during, I think, communication skills class.
No, and I think African Studies.
African Studies, right. Yeah. So that was where the journey started, and then we became friends, and yeah. And by God's grace, we're still friends with other people. And like Eugene Brunei was saying, like he's currently in Brazil with Mega. And I see Eugene type in the comment section is like Numo Akli. So I'm sure that Eugene, I'm sure we know you, but it's just like I've forgotten the Eugene I maybe we're talking about. And we have Jonas Akli also watching from Ghana. Jonas, are you related to Emmanuel Akli? That's just for jokes. All right, so let's understand it. Now, after you were done with your national service, I know most people after national service, you are looking at getting into a full-time job. So and then because of COVID and other stuff, like people started traveling and the travel ceased because of COVID and other stuff. So when did you had that dream of pursuing your master's degree in the United States of America? When did that dream come to bear?
Thank you for that question. I think it's a good one. My inspiration was one guy who was, I think you know him, Reynolds Wigbebu. Yes, okay. Reynolds Wigbebu was, most of my friends or people I relate with, most of my things I did in UCC was kind of make a lot of friends, So one of them was Wigbebu. And during our final year, he was our TA. And before we realized, he told me, we had some conversation, he told me, he was looking forward to go do his master's outside. And we lost communication after his national service. So I was trying to make some few inquiries. Where is this guy? And I had his number. I tested him, and he said, "Hey man, I jackpot." I was like, "What do you mean you jackpot? You know, right now, yeah, I see you." And he was like, "Charlie, he moved to the UK and on a Commonwealth scholarship." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good thing to also, explore." So from 2018, before I even finished undergrad, I had plans of moving. So that was when I think everything started. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So now after your Lance commission, you went to what Ghana Water Company to volunteer, and I really love that part that you chipped in. So most people in Ghana, in Africa, precisely, they sometimes finish and you are looking for jobs and you are not getting. But this is someone who uses time to go and volunteer, and I believe that the skills that you were able to harness during this volunteering time has really helped you when you even got here. And we are going to get into that, how you were even able to earn an internship with NASA, a whole NASA. I mean, it's a big deal. We are going to go into that, how your volunteering skill was able to even help you complete your master's degree and be able to earn an internship with NASA. Now, so I want to relay this very information to everyone. Please don't wait for you to be employed full time. You can still sometimes do some volunteering job. I know sometimes it comes with a cost, right? But then try as much as possible to build your skill set. It helps you when you get here or you even travel outside to do your master's or bachelor's degree or your doctorate degree. So please take note of that. Now, when you realize that, when exactly did you start the application? And then did you do all your application by yourself, or you had to contact people to do the applications for you?
Yeah. Okay. So mine is kind of funny because getting in touch with Reynolds and some other few people really sparked my interest. And although I didn't tell him directly that, oh, this is what I want to do, but having conversation with him, I'm like, oh, this is something I really wanted to do. So I tried the UK, I tried Canada, I tried Australia, and I even tried Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah, funny. I tried all these schools. I think I got some schools in Canada. Is it University of Guelph or something like that? And with Sweden, what really kind of delayed me a little bit was getting references from professors, because I was working with Lands Commission, and when you send a message they'll be like they will do, but sometimes I just have to move and go to campus and go and sit the whole day and be begging them. And Canada was almost close, but they were not giving me full funding, like 60%. And with somebody who doesn't like to rely on people too much, I decided to be like, oh, let me rather look for an opportunity to get some good grounding, good funding. And so back in Lands Committee 2018, when we started I started the application. I will write SOP, send it to friends to go through it for me. I think there was one Mr. Yimando Tute in our church back in Cape Coast. He went for the Commonwealth scholarship before. So I met with him and he gave me the guidelines how to write it. So he'll just give me what to write about. Then I'll sit down and write my own thing. And by the way, we're not, used to this ChatGPT or thing. You have to sit down and write. So I'll just give it to him. Then he'll meet me. I'll go to his house. Then we'll go through what I wrote. Then he will underline, give me back my descendant. So like it was kind of successful. I was close to getting to University of Toronto. I was very close, very, very close. So some colleagues were calling because I thought I was going to how they call it, Canada, and they were calling me Toronto. I was so happy until it happens that last minute I wasn't picked and something like that. But yeah, I have to rely on friends, because I personally, when I was in UCC, I made friends a lot, especially people ahead of me, people in my level, and people below me. So kind of, people know me. So I rely on people very much for most of the things that I did.
Okay, so now that the other side didn't work, how did you now end up in US?
Yes. So this is the story. When I was working 2018, I was at I think the passport office, and
All right.
I met this guy, Fred, the Fred
Okay.
effect. I believe you know
Okay.
him. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I
good
met
friend. Yeah, the
Fred,
Freddy
and
friend.
Fred was my mate back in UCC, but we were
Right.
not that close. We go to classes. We did. His major was also in economics and either sociology or geography.
It's sociology. Yeah.
Sociology, but mine was yeah. So we did economics, most of the classes together from level 100 to 400. So I met him there. We had some few conversations and we exchanged contact. And he told me his plans, where he wants to go, what he's doing. I was like, okay, that's a good thing. I'm also doing the same thing. But you know, when you meet people for the first time, you don't want to share everything. But
I mean,
yeah, he was open. Like he was like, Charlie, this is what I want to do, and I need my passport as soon as possible. And I was like, yeah, I'm here for the same reason. And I was like, oh, I got some schools from the UK. I'm waiting for funding. They will give me 5,000 out of like, you know, huge amounts that, yeah, 37,000 that you pay. Then he was like, yeah, he prays that we all get. So it was, I was failing from 2018, 2019, 2020 to 2022. And I gave up because I was pushing for Ghana Water Company to, you know, employ me fully because we were doing a great job. So I almost gave up because recently I was even checking some payments that I made to some schools I apply in Canada and Sweden, Australia, and those things. And back then, when I first came to US, I checked those things, and it was more than 5,000 Ghana cedis from 2018 to 2022. So
that's an investment.
one morning he called me. Then he was like, "Yo,
So who called
certain."
you? Fred called you.
Yeah, Fred called me. I
All
was
right. So
like,
by then, was he already in the US
"Yes,
or
he was already
he
in the
was?
US studying."
Okay, great. So
So
shout out to Fred. I think Fred did geography with economics. Yeah, I think that was what he did because he came to Ohio to do geography. So yeah, I think he did geography in UCC. All right, continue. So he called you one morning and
yeah, he called me one fateful morning. I've forgotten the date, but it was 2022, I think January thereabout. And I was like,
all right.
early in the morning or around, I think 4:35 there. I was like, this is a strange line. Then I was like, okay, let me pick. So we called him, was like, yo, certainty, what's up? And I was like, yo, Charlie, I did. And he was like, where you did? And I was like, oh, I'm in Ghana. I was like, so passport, I'll call you know. What are you doing with your passport? And I was like,
Oh,
what is not Ghana? I was like, Charlie, I've tried I've tried Canada, I've tried how they go UK, I've tried Sweden, I've tried Australia, but it's kind of, you know, it's not working. They was like, what, have you tried the US? And I was like, nah, I haven't tried the US. Because you see, at the back of my mind, my dream country is Canada and I want to go to Canada. So any advice anybody gives me, I'm not listening. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to explore other areas. Then he was like, oh, what do you want to do? And I told him I want to have some skill set in, you know, the geography sector. No, say geography, the US there, Charlie, funding baby, a lot of funding.
Wow.
So why don't you try USA? Then he was like, oh, he knows even his school, he knows some geography students, and he can link me to them. He has some other schools, and he did the research and sent me a lot of schools. I was like, who is this guy? Back in UCC, we're not that close, but he was able to call me. He was able to, you know, kind of motivate me in a way. So
All right.
fast forward, he gave me some links and some schools to, you know, go and watch his videos. I think by then he just started. So I watch his videos. In fact, that Friday or Saturday morning, I watched his videos, like all the videos that he posted. I watched
Wow.
everything and I got some insight. So quickly, I think I reached out back to Wegbebu again. And I was like, oh, Charlie, Bonyo, what's up? I want to do this time for the last time. It was like, yeah, you can try this. And but then he was also in the state. So I think I started doing some researches and things. So it was that fateful 2022 January that I applied again. And I searched for the schools. I searched like, I think more than 10 schools. And I wanted to do some in international studies or something. I also wanted to do sustainability, something environmental. So a couple of them mixture, because I'm from economics and geography background, I wanted to explore all. And my geography, I said, if I want to do geography, I want to do GIS. So I applied for a couple of different schools, both GIS and geography. Yeah, and
great.
I think...
All right. That's great. So shout out to Fred, the Fred effect. Because if today you are living in your dreams, then I'm sure it was because of that call that came through Fred. That guy, what are you doing with the passport in Ghana? You have done a passport, which is like, I think those times the passport was for like 5 years or so. And you've done the passport, or maybe you got a 10 years one, and you are still sitting down with it. Guys, so this is an advice to everyone watching us. If you have not done your passport, then go and get your passport, because you don't know when an opportunity will come. If you have you already have your passport, maybe the live session we have been doing is your call, is the call we are giving you. So why don't you also put your destiny in your own hands, trust God, and put in those applications, right? Because it is going to go a long way to help you. Like as we speak with Emmanuel now, Emmanuel is done, and we are going to ask him. He's going to tell us what he's currently doing. But I think he came here like 2020. You came to the US in 2022, if I'm right.
Yes, 2022, and there's a lot of drama related to my 2022 journey. Yeah.
All right, we'll come to that. Okay, so how many schools did you apply to, and how many admissions did you get with funding, and how many rejections did you get?
So I think I lost count of how many schools I applied to in the US, because I was still doing what's the name? Canada. Yes, I wanted to go to the University of Toronto. I think some people watching knows why I want to go to Toronto. Yeah. It was a class 6. It was a class 6 dream, and yeah, it was something I wanted to. So in the US, I applied to more than 10. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
More than 10, and I paid, I think, like almost 7 application fees. And somebody told me that it is worth, investing in. At the end of the day, you are going to reap if it goes well. So sometimes the fees are so much high that you may get discouraged, but I keep pushing. Anytime I get some small money now, because I wanted to move badly. But after watching Fred's videos and some other stuff, I realized that there are even schools that I can apply for free. So I keep applying. But I think one thing that really, slowed me down was maybe not taking... I was using one SOP. Initially, I was using one SOP to apply for, all schools. But, when you read some of the schools, their descriptions and what they are expecting is different. So I think I got the advice very early to, not use one for all. And it paid off, because I have to read the description and now chip in my, research interest, or maybe something that I'm interested in. And it was working. So I got rejection more than 7, but I got about 5 schools. And out of these 5 schools, 4 gave me funding. And this funding, I think Brandeis University gave me like 80%. And this 80% was like 50, was it 40 or 50,000?
And you said Brandeis University?
Yes, Brandeis University.
In Massachusetts, right?
Yes. They gave me about like...
So you were able to get into this. You were able to get into this university. Acceptance rate 39. Wow, that's interesting. And they gave you like scholarship 80%. Like worth 80%.
Yes. Wow. And the rest of the 20% was like, I have to pay a deficit of, I think, 25,000 or so. So
what program did you apply at Brandeis?
I think something related to sustainability, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, so back to the current school, the school that you completed. Now, I know definitely you applied to many schools. So it was only one school that you, finalized that you are going to attend. So which school did you attend?
So the 4 schools that gave me funding, one of them is Jacksonville, and they gave me full funding.
Okay, let's quickly check that with
Yeah,
our audience. So Jacksonville, is this Jacksonville State University or Jacksonville University?
Jacksonville State University.
All right, so guys, check it out. You have Jacksonville University, which is located in Florida, which is a private university in Jacksonville. And then we have Jacksonville State University. This one is located in Alabama. So check that one out. So that's where Emmanuel attended, and that's they have an acceptance rate of 78. And average cost after 8 is 18K. That's 18,000. Now let's check out this very university. So you can see they have a wonderful background or website design. That is great. So what program did you do over here?
I did MSc GIS.
MSc GIS. So if you are interested in GIS, that's Geographical Information Systems, you want to check this very school out. They have good funding over there. And I think you can see upcoming events on my left-hand side over here. Try as much as possible to check these very upcoming events out, because some of them, when you're able to attend their live sessions, they will waive your application fees for you. I don't know for this very school, but is that true?
Yeah, I think they are. No, the live session, they have a free application week in this October, but I can't recall which specific month day. But I think it's coming up quickly in this October. I think it's a 1 week period where you can submit your application for free.
All right, so guys, check it out. So I'm going to leave the link to this very school in the comment section. Make sure you check this very school out. All right, so let's now move on. When you settled on this school, you settled that this is the school that you want to come with. Well, after getting the admission and then you got the funding, now what did you do next?
So the admission came. What they do is when they give you the admission, it's not, you don't have the funding that comes with it. You have to apply for the funding yourself. So when I got the admission, I reached out to a couple of professors that I've gotten admission, but I'm looking for, and it was only the head of department, which is the head of department, that reached back to me to congratulate me on getting the admission. So I was like, what is the next step? And it was like, for them, you have to apply for the funding.
Then
like,
separately.
So I was like, that's cool. And I applied. So after applying, I resent him, when he told me that very day, I did the application. I went on the website, saw the opportunities over there, and I applied. And I reached back to him to inform him that
you have applied.
I've applied. And was like, that's good. So they are going to review and give me feedback. So after 2 weeks, if I don't hear anything from them, I should send him an email. I was like, oh, that's good. So
So this is the programs director that you're talking about?
Yes.
Great. So guys, take note of this. There are some schools that when you apply, you are automatically considered for a graduate teaching or a research assistant position. You don't need to do a separate application. But some other schools, even when you are given the admission, you still need to go ahead and put in an application for the assistantship separately. So that is why we sometimes inform you that get in touch with the programs coordinator, because they know some of these very information. So get in touch with them, find out that does the application process for admission comes automatically for you to be considered for an assistantship position. If not, then you know that after putting the application for the admission, you have to put in a separate application. I know for that of Ball State, because I applied to Ball State, you don't need to put in a separate application. All you need to do is after submitting your application for admission, you allow your recommenders to recommend you. That is 3 recommendations. And then automatically you are considered. I know of like Michigan State University, you don't do a separate application. Some multiple schools, you don't do a separate application, but all you need to do is to be able to find out from the programs director or find out from the graduate school, and they'll be able to tell you, and you know this. And most of the schools too, they have job openings on their website. So if it happened, I know you are watching me and maybe you've gotten an admission, but you don't have a funding. Funding is not automatic. Go ahead and apply to some job positions in other departments, not only in your department. So for instance, I know a friend who is working He's in Boston State. He was doing masters in statistics, but then he was working with the School of Business as a business analyst for the School of Business, and that was where he was getting his stipends and then his tuition being waived for. So you don't want to always look at it like, because I'm doing my master's in mathematics, then it's only the mathematics department that I can get assistantship. It doesn't work that way. It works in multiple ways. So please check it out, like Emmanuel said. All right, so let's continue. Now, you put in an application, and after 2 weeks, did you hear from them?
No, I didn't hear from them. And
Okay.
I just wanted to give him that space. I don't want him to feel like I'm too pressuring him. So I gave him extra week to see if the review team will get back to me. So I reached back to him, and he forwarded my email to the review committee. And so they got back to me that this is how they do it. They've never had an international student, they've never had somebody from Africa being the TA in that department, the geoscience department. And what they do is they give the funding in either May or June. So I requested for I requested for a Zoom meeting. And the professor, the head of department, was curious why I want a Zoom meeting, and he granted my request. So during that request, and I explained everything to him, how the African, getting your friends in, getting a visa is challenging. Yeah. So if we don't work things out early, I may lose the opportunity, and I may not be able to come at all. Maybe the funding may come late and I'll have to delay. So it was like, well, it's good I'm explaining, because they've never employed anybody, from Africa or from So he sent a message to the review committee that if the guy qualifies, give him the the opportunity,
assistantship.
So he said, when I got to the school, they said because of what I said, they decided to change their policy from the June one to the May one. So early May, they gave us funding decisions, all the people that they selected. So it was just a back and forth. And I got my interview back in June. Then the international house will not update my I-20. And the man said he's busy with other things. I was like, my interview is in June and I will need you to update. It was like, I have to give him like 2 weeks or something like that. So I sent a message to the program coordinator if he could put in a word for me. And he did that. And that same day, I got my updated I-20 with the funding, everything on it.
Interesting. So guys, one thing I'm learning over here is communication. One key thing about this very study abroad journey is communication. You don't want to be in this journey alone. And all those people that you see their names on the school's websites and everything, they are people you can contact. They are not angels to be afraid of them. They are not a super human or like I don't know how to put it, but they are people you can communicate with. They are people you can, come in a relationship with, like you can communicate on that kind of level, official level with them. So when you get your admission, you get even your funding, and you are preparing for your visa interview, and you need any information or anything of sort, please contact them. I remember when I was doing my applications, and even when I got my admission and all that stuff, sometimes, I'll do MTN IDD bundle. I know some of you know this thing.
Yes, I also did that.
Other parts of Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, that we use MTN. You do MTN IDD bundle, and I'll call them direct, and I'll talk to them like the way I'll be talking to someone in Ghana. That way you are able to express yourself. Sometimes when you put in the email, sometimes it might even end up in their spam, and they might not be checking their spam messages, and so they might not be able to get back to you. So please, this thing calls for an investment, and it also calls for a key, let me say, like attention to whatever that you are doing. So communication is very key, and I think I've done a video on that, how communication was able to earn me my assistantship in my current school. So please don't take communication out of your journey. All right, so now fast forward, they have reviewed your I-20 and everything, and you were preparing for your visa interview. We will come to the visa interview. But before we move on to the visa interview, during your application process through to the getting your funding and everything, what is one key advice you will give to our listeners for them to take home before we move on to your interview, visa interview?
All right. So if you have friends who are in the US, they are going to be a good resource. But don't forget, because of the time difference, you may not get them 100%. And that is why some of these, our colleagues, they've done a video on how to go through, this visa
processes,
this admission and application processes. So personally, I used one day to watch all Fred's videos. I think it was about 8 or 9 when he just started. I watched everything and I took some key things from it. And I have to reach out to Wegbebu. I know Wegbebu is way like kind of busy, because somebody who transitioned from UK to Ghana and from Ghana back to the US, and he's now adjusting to life and those things. I don't want to be like I'm overburdening him, but I also need that info. But I was contacting him. I was contacting some other people, and Fred again. Once a while, I send him a message. And so one of the key things that I think was outstanding for me was reaching out to my colleagues and watching the videos that we have on YouTube. Instead of maybe going to, let's say, Facebook and be watching reels, I just take my time and watch the YouTube videos, because I want to move. When I get here, I can, if I get what I want, I can now watch the reels and things that I want to. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I think shout out to Wegbebu. Wegbebu is live watching you. And he's currently live. He's saying that anyone interested in GIS, geography, and remote sensing, I can offer my full support. All right. So Wegbebu, if you are still live and you are watching us, when it's time for us to bring like people who want to come and ask their questions, I'll be very glad if you can join me, and then get in touch with me. One of these days, I'll bring you live to come and then share your experiences with us. So God bless you, Wegbebu, for that support you gave to our dear brother. Now, let's go to the visa interview. Now, the D-Day came. I know you have done a series of preparations. And I know if you are going for your visa interview and you are in Ghana, one of the key people who support you in terms of your visa processes, if you don't come across the Freddy Fetch, you will come across Shy Guys, you will come across other people like his Nina who were organizing like visa interview process. So who between these three people who assisted you in terms of the visa process?
I think the my person is Fred, because he was my colleague.
Okay.
So he added me to a group where I joined, and we also have some other platforms where people share the link. Oh, join my this, join my that, join my. So I joined a couple of them. So if, let's say, I'm not able to make it to the list to this group, I joined this particular one. I think Fred interviewed me like once or twice, but my case was kind of a little bit special, because I got visa dates in June 27th or something, and people were going early, so they were interviewing them. And I had another group where I've forgotten their name, but shout out to Miss Franca. Yeah, I think.
Francisca. Yeah. Francisca also assisted me.
Yeah, I think after I met her, that was when everything changes, because she helped me with my preparation, what to do, my confidence level, everything. I wanted to even buy, bundle for her or call credit. She said, no, I'll be with Ghana Water Company. We close around 5. Sometimes we are wrapping up things and it delays at 5:30 and 6. This lady will wait for me. And like, we'll be like, hey, Nate, don't worry, we got this, I got you. And she will wait for me to get home, get something to eat. Then she will now ask me the questions. And she was also in Ghana by then. No? She was like also doing the application process. But I listened to how she interviews people and how she's able to address people's issues. And I'll be like, nah, I think I need to get in touch with this lady. And when
shout out to Francisca, Miss Francisca. Shout out to Miss Francisca. I'm not sure she's watching that, but after this very program, I'm going to share the link with her to go and watch. Shout out to Miss Francisca. Yeah, go on.
she was the game changer. She really had time for me, and Charlie, shout out to her. God bless her. And she took me through the whole process till the day I was going for an interview. And even when I got to the visa interview, that 27th June, something happened. I started my DS 160 application, and I didn't finish. And 1 month later, it has to drop. I think, is it 1 month or something? It has to drop.
Yeah, it's 30 days. 30 days if you have not attended to that.
Yes. And it was, it wasn't there again. So I have to create a new one. And creating a new one, I have to link it to my
your CGI portal.
Yes, my CGI portal or something. And I didn't do that. So on the D-Day when I got there, they said the QR code and the barcode, like they don't have the same number. So I need to
matching.
I have to go and update my system. And even that very day, there was a drama there. The woman in the how do you call it? Those who take your biometrics and everything within wanted to give me a new date, like the following week or something, because some people had similar issue. But can you imagine? There's one guy in front. You see, when you enter the interview room, there's one guy in front. I think my kid brother is aware of this situation, Jonas Ackley. This guy said, I have to go back and look for dates. Meanwhile, the woman said, all the people who are having issues with that, they should come so that they will book a date for them. And during that period, getting date was kind of hectic.
Yeah.
This guy told me that I should move out and I should go and look for date myself. I was like, Charlie, this woman said we should come. Why are you not allowing me? And luckily for me, when I was entering the visa interview, you see, you meet the police, the security people.
Yeah.
So there was one guy over there on his and it's called need something. I don't know what that needs something, but he had a gun name. I was like, oh, and I gave him booze. I was like, hey, my friend, you're going to do well. So when the guy was trying to create a scene within the visa hollow, was trying to create a scene. And I was like, man, what's up? This woman said I should come. Why you not allowing me? He said, no, I have to go and look for date. It's like getting date is difficult. So quickly, I don't want to create a scene. I was frustrated. So I went back and I called Latif. Yes, Abdul Latif. Shout out to Latif. He was also instrumental and he said, okay, so this is what we have to do. And quickly, I went to my portal and updated everything and it linked. But it has to take like, I think, 12 hours or 24 hours for it to update in their system. So I came back that I've done the correction. This guy was angry.
So all these things were happening in the same day.
The same day.
All these things the same day.
Yes.
Wow.
So I came back. I
can see the frustration alone. When how it was even going to affect your interview. And did you have the interview the same day, or you have to go and come back?
The guy didn't even allow me. The guy didn't even allow me to enter. He said I should go. So fast forward. I went back and I went. So when I was coming there, the Ghana policeman was like, oh, and what they happen? You don't get or what? And I was like, oh, this is what happened. I was like, that guy there, if you slow guy, make it no my. But I said, don't worry, Ebefa. So when they went on break, and the guy left for break. Then I decided to move to the knee guy. Is it knee? I don't know whether it's knee. But I moved to him back and was like, oh, this is what the woman initially wanted to do for me. I was like, oh, for real? And I told him, getting date. He said, yeah, he knows some people who are struggling with it. And was like, follow me. Just go there and speak to this particular lady. So when I got there, the lady took my details, wanted to get me a new date. Then she had a call that the boss is calling. So before she came back, she has to prepare the place for the afternoon session people. And so I was forced to move out so that I'll go and look for a date myself. I was down, but I have to come back home and.
All right. So fast forward, your dates have to change. So you have to rebook a date. So you booked and then you came. Now let's go to the interview. What were the questions you were asked on the D-Day?
So on the D-Day, that was, I think, on the later part of July. I got a date later part of July. I was asked 3 questions. So when I got there, when I got into the interview room, there was one guy in front of me. And, you know, the blackboard man, nobody wanted to go to him. And I was just right behind the guy. And this guy just moved to the washroom. He moved to the washroom to swerve the man. So I was there in my head. I was just praying. I was like, "Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." So that was the song. They were denying a lot of people, but I was singing, "Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." That was my favorite song I was singing. I said, "Whoever I meet, I know I'm not coming out without my visa." So I went to him and I greeted him like, you know, a military man. Like I was like, "Hey, hello." I was like, "Hello." Then quickly he asked me, "Have I traveled before?" That was the first question. I was like, "Yes, I traveled before." I was like, "Where?" And I was like, "Oh, I went to Cote d'Ivoire to go and play soccer." Then he moved back like this, and he was like, "Oh, you look like an athlete, and US is a good grounds for athletes, you know. So if you get to the US." So initially I was a bit tensed. I was a bit, you know, and that pressure alone with what he said, the pressure went off me because I don't understand why the guy in front of me will have to leave the line and I have to go and meet him. But, you know, just as I said, I was just singing "Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus" in my head.
Wow.
And when he asked me that particular question, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I've been to Cote d'Ivoire to play." And when I was going, you know, when we were in Lance Commission, we played a game in, I think, Takrady, the Lance Commission, and I organized the game. We played soccer and we won the cup. So I had a picture with me holding the cup as the captain. So I printed the picture in my file. So if he wanted evidence, I would have taken the picture of my, you know, and show it to him. So he was like, "Oh yeah, interesting." He looked at me, was like, "Oh, you look like a sports guy." And I was like, "Yeah." Then he asked me, "What am I going to study?" No, he said I should take him through the application process. Meanwhile, I didn't prepare for that question. I didn't prepare for that
through
question.
the application process. So this is where, if for instance you allowed an agent to do the application for you, or you didn't know anything about the application, I don't know how you are even going to answer this question. So guys, that is why sometimes we come your way with these live sessions. We do videos, we post it on our YouTube or social media handles, just to make sure that you guys are doing the thing yourself. In that way, it gives you some kind of information and knowledge, so that when you go and you're asked these questions, you wouldn't fumble. Those questions you are going to be asked are questions. It's going to be a normal conversation. The interview, I always say, is even the easiest thing among all the processes for you to study abroad. The interview is the easiest. If you know your things or you did your things right, the interview should be the easiest. All right. So your second question was, walk me through the visa process, your study abroad or the school application process. All right.
Yeah. So because I was doing most of the things myself, I was able to like tell a story, like how I came in contact with, you know, this school, how I reached out to professors and they gave me the go ahead. And, you know, I went to the website to do a search, write my SOP, create my logins. So I was saying everything. I realized he was nodding. And it was like, I should, he said, I think the last question was, I think I have a deficit of 2,000. Was it 2,000 or 3,000?
Your deficit was 2,000. That was cool. It was a full scholarship.
2,000 or 3,000. So when I get to the US, they made it in-state, so I don't have to pay anything virtually. So he asked me who is going to pay that, and I was like, "Oh, I can afford it personally, but I have a brother who is also this and that, and he's gonna." And the man said, "Congratulations." In fact, I didn't even hear the congratulations. All I could say is, "Gentlemen, take this white sheet and, you know, go for your visa." I was like,
and I can see that joy at that moment when you heard the congratulations, your visa has been approved. So in that way, would you say that what the man did at the initial stages, right, So your first time you went and then things didn't work out. Would you say that that thing that the scene the guy was creating was in a way helping you?
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
I
when you are
think
doing
in
the
a way,
analysis, you might say,
yeah, in a way, what the guy did, that frustration was still on me, and it made me tense. Even that very day when he saw me, was like, "Como instruction, you don't want to pay attention." So I was like, this woman was willing. In my head, I was like, I don't want to respond to this guy to, mess up my day, because
yeah,
I'm not going for a good news. I don't want anybody to. I was like, hey man, let's just put it behind us, and because I know the woman wanted to give me date. I don't have to go through the difficulty of looking for date and those kind of things. So that first question the man asked me, and the way I answered and approached it, in fact, took all the frustration, the tension off me. And I'm glad that he interviewed me and he asked me that first question. And I think it's all by the grace
that's
of
good.
God. Yes, that's how I'll say
Yeah.
it.
Thank you very much. So, guys, before we move on now, in the next scene that we are going to talk, or like the next thing we are going to talk about is now that you landed in the US, you came in 2022. Now I know you are done with your masters. What are you doing now? And even before you started your PhD program, which is also fully funded, which school? We are going to look at the school's website, and then talk about some few internships opportunities that you got. But before we go on to that, I want to take you guys to my page. Let's go and see. Like I said, I always share free application or schools that are waiving application fees. So 2 days ago, I shared this very school application, the school that is waiving an application fee, and you can see it over here. So check it out on mine. That's South Dakota State University. South Dakota State University. So this school is waiving application fees for undergraduate students, and it's for free from October 1st through to November 30th. So make sure that you check this one out. And then apart from that, I think I have also shared couple of other opportunities, like the Cullen College of Engineering at the University of Houston. Yeah, so this is also a PhD position that is being a PhD and a postdoctoral researcher positions that are available for the spring and fall 2025. So guys, check it out. It's at the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at the University of Houston. So check that one out. And there is this professor, there's this professor at Mississippi State University who is also looking out for graduate students. They are looking for 2 PhD students in mechanical engineering at Mississippi State University, starting in spring or fall 2025. So these are all opportunities that have been posting. And I know most of you, you don't check the community section of the various YouTube content creators. And the community sessions are very great places that sometimes some of the things that we can't do video on, we just come and put it there. When we get an information like professors who are looking for graduate teaching or research assistants, we bring and then post those pictures over there. So go and check it out. And then I think 2 weeks ago, I also placed this over there. That's Kent State University. They also have an application fee week, a free application week to take place from October 22nd to November 1st. So this one is just like within a week, October 22nd to November 1st. So start preparing your application material so that during this very period, you can put in application at Kent State University. And they also offer great scholarships. Yeah, so check these ones out, and it's going to really help you. All right, so let's move back to our guest. Now, so Emmanuel, now you go to US and you during your master's program. I know you have to do an internship because during the summertime you are free and you can do some research or whatever you want to do. So walk us through, very brief because of our time, very brief, like some of the internship opportunities that you were able to get, and then we'll come to your PhD and then your final words, and then we'll be done. All right.
All right.
Over
Thank
to
you. And before that, I want, if my kid brother is watching, Mississippi State University, that program, PhD Mechanical Engineering, will be good for you because I know you are a mechanical engineering student. And yeah, Kent State University was the school, one of the schools that I got admission to I think MA Geography also, but I have to choose GIS because I wanted to go into GIS.
Did you get funding for Kent State too?
Yes, I got funding.
Okay, great.
I got funding.
So guys, check it out.
Yeah, I have to take, Jacksonville State University, because of the program. Yeah, and so yes, I think I apply for so many internship. If you are a teaching assistant or maybe a research assistant, you have like two options in every department. In the department, whether you want to teach during the summer or you want to go to the field to, apply what you've learned. So I have taken it upon myself. I think when I got here, I attended a lot of webinars and I've attended even on the school career fairs and things, and they always advise that you apply for these internship positions very early. So I applied for a couple of them. I have to interview for a couple of them. I have to get rejection from my first year. I have to get rejection from almost all of them. And I reached back to Wigbebu again. Reynolds that Charlie, this summer there, I want to make some money. Show me the way, because you are the senior. And it was like, oh, yeah, he knows one organization, that I can equally do my internship there. So he sent me the link. That is Wall Street. He sent me the link, and I applied. And lo and behold, I got how they call it. I got the internship position, and it was my first time. I have to travel interstate. I have to move from Virginia to Michigan. I have to move to California. I have to come back to Georgia. Like, it was a great opportunity. And at the end of the internship position, one of leadership, something.
I think your network is breaking, so it's making us not
I did a great job and something like that. And can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's still breaking. So
hello?
Yeah, your video is still breaking.
Okay, let me
yeah, so you can refresh it. And all right, so guys, like he already said, he did his first internship with Wall Street, and Wall Street is an amazing company. Like if I also did my internship there, that was last summer. And if you are watching us and maybe you just landed in the US and you have started your first semester, it's one of the internship opportunities that you can use as a backup, right? In case the other ones that you apply for, they don't give you. With the Wall Street, I mean, I know some people that they didn't get into it, but it is like 90% you can get into it. And they cover your expenses, your flights. Like he said, he was moving interstate and all his flights was covered. When I also did it this summer, I had to move from Tyler to Dallas, from Dallas to Houston, and all my flights were covered. I took almost about 6 flights and everything was fully paid. Your accommodation. My first time I have to sleep in Marriott Hotel, and a big bedroom with a big bed, all by myself, and everything was fully paid. Your diet and everything was fully paid. So yeah, these are great opportunities that you can explore. And I'll find time and see how possible I can share it with people who are already here to also do the application, because you don't want to waste time. Now, I want to ask, when did you start the application? Because I know some people start the applications late or don't start it even on time, and they are not able to get internship positions. So when did you start the application process?
So that was 2022. No Wall Street. I mean, the other scholarship internship opportunities that I applied to. I think I started in November, because I was thinking I have to wait till that fateful year 2023. But after attending the career fair, I realized that I have to start application now, so far as it is open. So I have to go on LinkedIn, I have to go on Indeed, I have to go on Handshake, I have to go on different platforms to be able to start the applications very early. I did a couple.
Right.
But I think one of the things that my CV, but then I was still using my Ghana CV. I didn't, make people help me review
Review.
my CV, and I think that those were some of the things that cost me. So, but I was glad that Wigbebu was able to share that. And you see, one thing is, although you are in the US, but some people may have some info that you may not have.
Right.
So all this while you just have to be checking up on him and checking up on others and find out, Charlie, what is happening, because you are all in the field. Maybe you may have an info that you may not have. You may have an info he may not have. So he shared that with me quickly. I applied and I was glad that I got that opportunity, because what people may think, oh, I want an accounting job, I want this, but they have fields within. You can teach, you can do administrative duties, you can do engineering duties, you can even, and here in the US, even people who has how do you call it, restaurant experience, they value them because they believe their human relations is very, very valuable. And
Right.
this one was even a stepping stone for me to get to my next internship.
Wow, interesting. So, guys, I've shared a link in the comment section, a link for you to join if you want to come and then ask your questions. You want to ask Emmanuel questions about maybe his study abroad journey, or there are some key specific questions that you want to ask him, or you want to ask me. You want to request using that link to come at the backstage, and I'm going to bring you on board to ask your questions. So, whilst he's sharing his next internship opportunity with NASA, we are going to allow people to also come in with their questions while he's sharing it, because of time, because we need to end exactly in 30 minutes time. So make sure that you use this very link. I've just placed that link. Let me quickly see if I can share it on my screen. So this is the link I'm talking about. So use this link to request the microphone, come to the backstage, and then make sure that your video is on. You are in a very serene environment, and then come and then ask your question. So over to you. Now tell us about the second internship, and then what are some of the benefits it came with, and then also we talk about your PhD, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so now that I've settled in the US, I know my way around after 1 year. I now want to go into my field. So I know GIS is broad. Majority of the offices we are in there. So I targeted like 6 of the major ones. So I have like rankings. Every year I have rankings. So I applied to NOAA. I don't know if you know NOAA. They are one organization that are into oceanic and, climate change
Okay.
and those things. Then I applied. My second one was NASA. Then I also applied to CDC. But CDC, you have to be a citizen before you can be
Okay.
able to, get into it. So they got back to me that, hey, your credentials are great, but since you are F1 student, we cannot pick you. Then I also applied to state transportations department, where I want to apply the GIs and those things. And I think some couple of them, they all got back to me. And I think that fateful year, that was, I think this year, I got into 3 of the internships. So I applied to Esri as well, but Esri didn't mind me. They didn't mind me, and I was disappointed. But at the end of the day, I still got an assistantship from them. So NASA was something. I'm not fully into remote sensing. I only know a bit of remote sensing. I can play with it. I can download images. I'm not fully into it. So one thing that got my attention was when after the application, they got back to me. And the way the conversation was going, everything was going so well. Like, I was like, who is this lady? And she was and she told me, hey, I was honest with her, hey, remote sensing is not my core, but I have some knowledge in GIS. And I'm not good with the
Right.
coding. And he told me, hey, NASA platform is a platform known for perfect people. It's a
Right.
platform for, they want to educate people. They want that at the end of the day, if you are maybe in level 2, you should move to level 5. You should be able to apply the skill set. And in fact, during the 10-week period I was in NASA, a lot has happened. A lot.
Wow.
Like, they give you a mentor. They give you training sessions on how to code, how to do this. They give you access to their website that you can download images for free. You can have their access to their code and everything for free. If today I'm an alumni, today I need maybe a particular data set. All I have to do is just make a request. And now they are calling me to be a mentor for the next year, people who will be, kind of doing their internship with NASA. And now I have like a link. All I have to do is just write a recommendation that, hey, I know this person, I know his credentials, and I believe will be a good fit for this. And I'm telling you, with a twinkle of an eye, they'll just get you on board. So NASA was an eye opener. They've taught us how to review our CVs and resumes to tailor all jobs. And I tell you, even before next year, so many, because of my resumes that I've been able to write very well, so many companies, I have them lined up to interview for next year internship. So I think NASA was a great opportunity. And even that in LinkedIn, I've seen companies sent me a link to jobs. There's one in Alabama, which I got, but I think we will know the story, but I won't go into that for today.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. So we have like 18 minutes to wrap up on this very session. I don't want the video to be long so that people who will later come and then watch will also be able to have time and watch them and get those very information. So if you just tune in, this is the fourth episode of the experience series where I bring some of the people who have gone through the study abroad process and have been successful to share their experiences with us, share with us some of the mistakes they did that you need to avoid, some of the good things they did that you need to capitalize on to be able to put in a strong application and be able to land your admission with good funding. So Emmanuel completed Jacksonville State University on a fully funded scholarship and is currently pursuing his PhD or doctorate degree at the Texas State University. And he has also had opportunity to do his internship with WorldStrides and also currently ended his internship with NASA. And like he said, don't look at the big companies and see that, oh, you are afraid and you can't apply to them. And there are some class of people that need to apply there. Emmanuel have proven to us that, yes, you can also apply there. And they are not looking for people who already are gurus. They are looking for people who will come and learn on the job and also bring in their contribution. And everything is about teamwork. So yeah, do your possible best. If you are watching us and you currently landed in the US and pursuing your undergraduate, bachelor's, master's, or your doctorate degree, and you want to do your internship, which is very vital as an international student, then you want to do your possible best and explore all these very avenues. Don't leave any company and say that this company is for this very class of people. Put in that application. Who knows? You might stand a chance to get into that very place. Is it Google, Microsoft, Amazon, or wherever you want to do your internship? Put in that application. All right. So let's take one question. We have one person at the backstage, so we bring him on board, and then he can ask his question. All right, John, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Please. My question doesn't go specifically to him. It can be any of you to give me a response to that. So my question is, with regards to recommendation letter, during my service days, uh, I did. Sorry, let me take it again. I did my service at VRA, and now I'm actually considering one man who I didn't directly work under, and I would love him to give me a recommendation. I would want to seek your advice. Is it suitable if I did not work under somebody directly to give me a recommendation letter?
Aaron, can I answer that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Emmanuel. Go ahead.
Yes, John, thank you for your question. I think I also did an internship with VRA back in Akusomo. So yeah, and for the references, it just have to be the willingness of the man to do it for you. If he has, maybe I know VRA, they have institutional emails. If he's willing to do it, you just have to provide him the details, and he's going to write it for you. Some of them will tell you to write it for them, and they'll just, how they call it, submit it on your behalf. So I don't think it should be a problem. So far as you've worked there, he can liaise with whoever your supervisor is and give you a good decision. But he has to be willing. If he's not willing, then yeah. Some of them will be willing to do it, but they may not write it to the way you want it. So maybe you might if he requests that you have a sample, you quickly have to maybe get in touch with Aaron. He can get you a sample or something like that, and you can show it to him, then he will go about. Some of them don't, perhaps write for a lot of people, so they might not have that experience. And here in the US, references are key, so he can write it for you. That is from my point. I don't know what Aaron has to say.
Yeah, exactly as you said. So you don't need people that you've worked directly. I mean, that kind of gives you a strong application. But if you are not getting it and you worked in the same department, but you didn't work directly under the person, yes, you can still go ahead, let a person recommend you, especially in these times that getting recommendation letters is very scarce. But then, in as much as you are doing that, you want to do your possible best and make sure that at least one of your supervisors or professors who taught you is on your recommendation list, because you don't want to pick people who are only in the, working industry or people you have worked for. So try as much as possible to blend the two, okay? And in that way, it's going to help you.
Please, my very last question.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, please. I had hospitality and tourism management background at my undergrad level. So I want to ask, what are the other alternative programs I can pursue at the master's level aside hospitality and tourism management?
All right, so
I think aviation will be one of them. Aviation. But I know one guy, John, he's in Virginia Tech. He did the same program at UCC, and he's currently doing aviation and something. But what he did was he didn't get funded directly from the department, but he went on Handshake to look for companies that are into aviation around the university, and he applied to how they call it, that school and that company, and they sponsored his fees and everything. But I think beforehand he did some LinkedIn learning online certificate to beef up his how they call it. He got a certificate from aviation from LinkedIn Learning or some, I think, platform, and he was able to attach that, which gave him the upper hand in getting a good scholarship for his studies.
Yeah, so yeah, like you said, aviation, you can check aviation. But Kent State University has tourism and hospitality management master's program. So yeah, you can check out Kent State. You can also check out programs like supply chain, anything relating to those food and other stuffs. Yes, you can explore those options as well. I can't give you like vivid programs that you can apply for, but what you can also do is now you can just go to Google and then ask Google some of these very questions, or even ChatGPT, and it should be able to help you in terms of some of the programs you can do. But then it doesn't mean that you can't go directly into the hospitality and then tourism management. Yes, they have programs. They have multiple schools that are offering those programs. So I don't know why you want to switch. Okay.
Oh no, like I just don't want to limit myself to the hospitality.
Oh, okay, yeah. So so you can go in the aviation, the food science, and yeah, anything relating to hotel management and those kind of stuff. They have all those programs that you can explore.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much too for coming through. So if you have any question, just put it in the comment section and I'm going to bring it. I think we have just like 10 minutes to end it. Let me see if I have some couple of questions there. Someone says that so Puku Godfrey says that, does Kent State University offer public health? Okay, so you want to check it out. So Puku, that's why we have those things on my YouTube. If you go to the community session, you should have those very information there. You can get the link over there, or you can even go, we have mentioned the name here. So it's Kent State University. Go to Google and type Kent State University. Take you to their website, and then you can check their program that they offer, and you see whether they offer the public health. Then this person says that in 3 words, actually, how would you describe your master's experience from a social, cultural, personal, professional, and academic point of view? What challenges did you face setting there? Any advice? All right. So this from Reality with Bora.
See, in 3 words.
I think you want to maybe in 3 sentences, but 3 words there. All right. But I'm over to you. So
yeah,
your experience.
It was a good experience, and I had a good relationship. My relationship with people is quite good. I had a good relationship with almost all the faculty because I know they will one day write references on my behalf, or one day I'll rely on them for jobs and those things. So I think my social culture, in terms of culture, when you come to the US, you have to be open to, culture, whatever your beliefs and this thing doesn't matter. You have to keep it to yourself. So I think it was awesome, and I had a good relationship and a good time there. And it has really helped me moving forward as in growing professionally and, individually.
All right. Then I'm in UCC now by expert Baron, but want to explore more. Yeah. So don't wait till you finish school before you begin exploring some of these very opportunities. And mind you, I'll be bringing one of my friends who, during even his time at UCC, he has to do exchange programs. So these are opportunities on UCC campuses and even KNUST that people are not exploring. So there is something we call Center for International Education, which is, they have a department in UCC. And what you can do is, those people assist you. UCC have an affiliation with some schools in the US, in Sweden, in Ukraine, and a whole lot of places. And what you can do is, if you go, they will take your transcripts and apply on your behalf. And if you're able to get in and they give you a scholarship, you can come here, do an exchange program, come and do 1 semester here. So this lady came here, did 1 semester on a fully funded scholarship, and then went back to UCC to complete the program. And then now she's here doing her master's program. And not only her, there are other people that I've got in touch with who also had this very opportunity. So yes, if you're in UCC now, it's still not late and it's still not early. You can put in those very applications and be able to do an exchange program, or make sure you better your GPA whilst you are studying. Someone also said that I did tourism management in UCC and ended with CGPA of 2.7. What course can I read in Canada or USA, and can I get scholarship? In terms of getting scholarship, we don't give scholarship, so we can't tell. It all depends on the number of applications they are going to receive. Now, in terms of program, yes, you can still go ahead with the tourism management, like we said, for other people. But if you are looking for Canada or USA, I will advise you apply for USA. Now, remember, USA, the minimum GPA they are looking for is 3.0. But some schools go a long way to even reduce it to like 2.5, 2.7. But I always say that if they reduce it, it doesn't mean that you can easily get into that very program. Because if the competition is very tight, like you have people with above 3.0 applying and they are looking for 50 students, unless perhaps you have an exceptional skill on your resume, that might even end you getting the admission and getting some funding. So one of the things that I advise people to do is to do an evaluation. And I've done a video on my YouTube channel on how to evaluate your transcripts for free, and not the official transcript evaluation, but then you will know your GPA, how your GPA is going to be in the US system, even before you put in the application for your transcript to be evaluated officially. So I have a video on that. You want to check it out on my YouTube channel, and then know how your GPA is going to be. I graduated with a GPA of 2.58, but then after using the transcript evaluation by World Education Services, my GPA shot to 3.2. So you can check it out and see how it works for you. And then if it's worth that investment, you go ahead and then pay and get your evaluation done officially. Let me see another question. We have like 5 minutes to wrap up. He said, do I still stand a chance of gaining admission into a master's program despite not meeting the minimum GPA requirements after West evaluation, which has pushed my GPA? I'm taking the GRE in few days. Yeah. So if you are taking a GRE in few days, Stanley, then I will say that It's a very good step and a bold step you have taken. Make sure you study. If you are part of my WhatsApp group, then I shared some resources that can help you to prepare very well for the GRE. So make sure if you don't have it, I'll see if I can share that with you. Then you can join, and then I'll share that resource with you. Make sure you study well for the GRE and pass the test well. Forget about the GPA for now. Focus on the GRE, and if you're able to make a very good score on the GRE, if you combine it with your GPA, it should be able to earn you good scholarship. And someone says that Aaron, Akli, all and sundry, please try to come back because we need your skills to make a difference in society. Please, just as you promised the embassy, don't forget that the growing youth need you. Yeah.
We'll come when you end galamsey. We'll come when you end galamsey.
No worries. So I mean that is personal. So don't worry. Some of us, yeah, we are coming back for life, and don't take it that maybe when we are here we are not looking at coming back or other stuff. Yeah, we'll come back to help. Someone said Asemo. Yeah. All right. So your final words before we wrap up, Emmanuel. Your final words.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining this live session. Some of this platform helped me by watching these videos and taking the steps and asking the right questions. And thank you for listening to my beautiful journey. Whether it's beautiful to you or not, to be there or record, is beautiful. And it's always a good day. It's always a good day to have a good day. And here in the US, I will thank God first and foremost and what he has done in my life and everything that he's continued to do in my life. And I thank people like Aaron who are always, ready to share some of these opportunities for you. And opportunity will come, but are you ready? If you are ready, you grab it. And when it is your time, you definitely come. So all the best. And if you have any question, if you are a social science student, in my school here, Texas State University, there are a lot of engineering programs that you can do. They will give you full funding. If you want doctoral programs, the funding here is very good. You can check out schools in San Antonio, Austin, and other places in Texas. So all the best, and I wish you a happy weekend.
All right. I wish you a happy weekend. That is from Emmanuel Akle, guest who came on board today. Yeah, so like he said, he's currently pursuing his doctorate degree at Texas State University. Yeah, fully funded. So, guy, what we are talking about is real. Like, he traveled here to do his master's at Jacksonville State University, fully funded, and now doing his PhD fully funded. So not paying anything out of your pocket. So the investment is worth it if you put in your time watching our videos, joining live sessions, asking your questions, and getting all these things done is going to really help you. Now, he's not only done internship, he done internship with World Strides and currently ended his internship with NASA and is currently pursuing his doctorate degree. So why don't you put in that effort? Why don't you put in that investment so that you can also get through these very processes successfully and see yourself pursuing either your undergraduate, master's, or doctorate degree in the US or in Canada? Someone was asking, why do I say US over Canada? Maybe US is a good place over Canada. I mean, in terms of scholarships globally, if you are talking about country that gives scholarships to international students, you can't talk without talking about US, that's United States of America. They give a lot of scholarships. If you read on the internet, they give a lot of scholarships as compared to other countries. So I always say that USA is a very good place. And if you are also looking at the industry, USA is a very good field for you. That is why I always say that. All right. So, and someone is also saying that, can you bring a business student so that the business students can also, I'll try my possible best. I have one friend, I will bring in her very soon. She's at, I think, Michigan State University. And very soon she will be on board to also come in and assist the business students. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to come on live and ask your questions, and we'll be very glad to assist you. Thank you very much. And before I sign out, I always want to tell you that remember that your dream is valid. If some of us have been able to do it, then yes, indeed, you can also do it. Don't use that very data to be watching things that are not going to add value to yourself. Use your data to watch valuable things that are going to add, value to you, things that are going to help you progress in life. Okay. And then when we come live, do your possible best to also join. I know data in Africa is very costly, yes, but then these are information that are going to help you. When I was in Ghana, I also did the same thing. Join live sessions of the Freddie Feds, Kingsford and the rest. And today I was able to get all those information. And today I'm here pursuing my master's degree. Yes, you can also do it. So put in that very effort and put in that very time. Don't let anyone discourage you. Don't give up on yourself, and always remember that your dream, that dream of yours to work either in NASA, to work with Microsoft, to work in Jacobs, to work in wherever you find yourself or wherever you want to see yourself, it is valid and it can come to pass. So stay tuned, and I'll come your way next week with another session. And this very person is also going to share with us, those of you who are in the teaching field, who want to apply to come and teach directly in the US. And you can come here with your family and your family, and you get paid and everything. Yes, he's also going to talk on that as well. And he's currently pursuing his doctorate degree. He is also done with his master's at Kutztown State University. Yeah, so make sure that you catch us live next week, the same time. That is 4 p.m. GMT, and it will be a great time to have you. Thank you, and I'll sign out by saying that remember, your dream is valid. Bye-bye.